My husband sold my $2 million ranch to his girlfriend for $5. He thought I would break down, cry, and disappear quietly. He assumed my silence meant I had surrendered. What he didn't know was that I had been 3 steps ahead of him for months. My name is Lily Hawthorne, yes. That same last name that now feels like a chapter I'm finally closing. Before we continue, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And comment your country and city below. Let me take you back to that dusty parking lot outside Tom's Feed and Supply on a warm Texas afternoon. The sun was beating down, the kind of heat that makes the air shimmer above the blacktop. I was loading 50-pound sacks of premium horse feed into the bed of my old blue Ford truck. One by one, muscles burning but steady. Each sack hit the metal with a solid thud. That's when she appeared, Lily Hawthorne, strutting like she owned the world. Papers fluttering in her manicured hand. Just wanted to say thanks for the ranch, she announced loud enough for everyone in the lot to hear. Her voice dripped with fake sweetness. $5 felt more than generous. Honestly, Samuel really took care of everything. She shoved the deed transfer papers right in front of my face. My name was at the bottom, misspelled as Lily Hawthorne, the signature so badly forged it looked almost comical. Inside her tinted Mercedes, Samuel sat in the passenger seat, staring straight ahead, refusing to meet my eyes. 18 years of marriage, and the man couldn't even face me while he tried to steal my entire life. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I simply reached for another feed sack, hoisted it onto my shoulder, and kept working. Tom, the owner who had known me since I was a broke 25-year-old girl, burying my father, stood frozen in the doorway watching the whole scene. "Everything okay, Lily?" he called out, concern thick in his voice. "Perfectly fine, Tom," I answered calmly, sliding the sack into place. "Lisa here is just telling me how she bought my ranch for $5. Tom's face hardened. "Lily, you just ordered 3 tons of winter feed last week, legal and signed," Lisa interrupted with a smug smile. "Samuel handled all the paperwork. You'll be out by Monday. I'm already planning a yoga studio where those ugly old stables are. Maybe tear down part of the barn for a meditation pavilion. It's going to be fabulous." Monday. 3 days to leave the land I had poured 20 years of my blood, sweat, and tears into. I closed the tailgate slowly, deliberately, then climbed into my truck. In the rearview mirror, I saw Tom examining the papers Lisa had thrust at him. His expression changed from confusion to outright disgust. He had seen enough crooked deals in his life to know forgery when it was this sloppy. The 12-minute drive back to the ranch felt longer than usual. Every turn was muscle memory. Past the Henderson pasture, where the new foal was learning to run. Past the old oak tree split by lightning 12 years ago, that I refused to cut down. Up the gentle rise that gave the perfect view of the entire valley I had. Transformed from worthless scrubland into prime ranch property, worth over $2 million, Elena's truck was already parked near the main barn when I pulled in. She had managed the ranch operations with me for 12 years. Tough, loyal, and sharp as a razor. The moment she saw my face, she knew something was wrong. "Lily," she said simply, gripping her clipboard tighter. "Samuel was here this morning. He had a rental truck. I thought you knew about it." I took a deep breath. Lisa Hawthorne just told me in front of half the town that she bought the ranch for $5. Elena's jaw tightened, but she stayed steady. We walked together into the house I had built with my own hands after my father's death. The wide wooden porch, the big kitchen where I had fed dozens of ranch hands over the years, the living room with windows overlooking the pastures. But when we reached the office, my stomach dropped. Drawers yanked open. File cabinet emptied. Everything important looking was gone. Samuel thought he had cleaned me out. He had no idea. I led Alina to the kitchen, reached behind the old refrigerator, and pulled out the heavy coffee tin wrapped in plastic. Inside were the real originals, the deed with only my name on it from the very beginning. Every single improvement receipt, breeding certificates for my prize bloodlines. And yes, the Riverside Hotel receipt I had found weeks earlier. Champagne room service. And that little handwritten note, "Can't wait for our new beginning." You knew?" Alina asked quietly. "I suspected strongly," I told her. "I found this when he claimed he was at a cattle auction. I didn't have full proof then, but I started preparing anyway. That evening my phone rang again. It was Margaret, Samuel's older sister. I finally answered. "Lily, thank God," she said, voice shaking. "I've been calling you for days. Samuel has been asking me all kinds of strange questions about property transfers, how to remove someone's name from a deed, community property loopholes. I told him he was playing with fire. He's lost his mind over that woman. I'm so sorry I didn't call sooner." I thanked her and hung up. Family or not, Margaret couldn't watch her brother destroy me. That night I sat alone on the porch with sweet tea in my hand, watching the sun paint the hills gold and then deep red. I let myself remember everything. How? I started with nothing but my father's small insurance payout after his sudden heart attack. How I bought this rejected piece of land when no one else wanted it. How Samuel showed up 2 years later with his easy smile and promises. For a while we built something good together, but success changed him. My success made him feel small. The drinking got worse. The late nights increased. The criticism became constant. I never made big scenes. I just watched, documented quietly, and 6 months ago I walked into Frank Delgado's law office in town and started protecting myself. New LLC for the breeding program. Updated will, separate accounts. The original deed had always been in my name alone because I insisted on that prenup years ago. The one Samuel had laughed at and called me paranoid. Now that preparation was about to pay off. The next 3 days were a whirlwind. I was up before dawn every morning, feeding horses, training yearlings, acting like nothing had changed. Meanwhile, Frank was already filing emergency motions. Tom had kept the forged papers and made high-quality copies. The county recorder's office was alerted. On the 3rd day, the sheriff's deputy served papers at Lisa's house. I stood there calmly beside my lawyer as Samuel came storming out of the rental truck. "What the hell is this, Lily?" he shouted, face turning purple. "It's over. You lost. Just accept it and move on." Lisa stepped out behind him in a robe, hair messy. "This is harassment." Frank stayed cool. "Actually, the judge has already issued a temporary restraining order. The filed deed is clearly fraudulent, misspelled name, forged signature, no proper witnesses. We also have evidence of financial misconduct. The bank accounts are being frozen as we speak." Samuel's confidence shattered right there. For the first time, real fear entered his eyes. Over the following weeks, the full story came out. Lisa had a history of similar schemes in another county. Samuel had been draining joint accounts for months to fund their new beginning. The court moved fast. Alina and I kept the ranch running smoothly the entire time. We even managed to prepare our best foals for an upcoming sale. One evening, Samuel showed up alone at the ranch, looking broken. No fancy car. No Lisa. Just him standing at the bottom of my porch steps. "Lily, I made the biggest mistake of my life," he said, voice cracking, tears in his eyes. "She got in my head. I was jealous. You were always the strong one, the respected one. I felt invisible next to you. Please, we can fix this. I'll do anything." I looked down at the man I had once loved. "A mistake is forgetting an anniversary, Samuel. You tried to erase 20 years of my work for $5 and a new woman. You sat in her car and couldn't even look at me while she humiliated me in public. There is no fixing this." He cried harder. "Lisa already left me. She says it was all my idea. I've got nothing left. You have until Friday to clear out the rest of your things from the storage unit," I told him quietly. "After that, everything changes. And don't ever call me by any sweet name again." He left with his head down. I watched his truck disappear down the long driveway and felt something heavy finally lift off my chest. Months later, the case settled. I got the ranch back completely free and clear, plus restitution that covered every legal fee and then some. Samuel moved out of state. Lisa faced her own consequences. The ranch not only survived, it thrived. I expanded the breeding program, hired 2 more hands, hosted the first annual Hawthorne Full Preview right here on the land my father's memory built. On opening night, with string lights glowing across the barn and people laughing and bidding, Alina handed me a cold beer. "You did it, boss," she said with a rare smile. We did it, I corrected her. Standing there under the Texas stars, watching the valley I had fought for, I realized the best revenge wasn't loud screaming or destruction. It was quiet, careful preparation. It was knowing your worth when someone tried to price it at $5. It was refusing to let betrayal define you. If you've ever been betrayed by the person who was supposed to love and protect you the most, I want to hear your story in the comments. Tell me what happened. Tell me how you rose. I read every single comment. This is Lily Hawthorne signing off. Thank you for staying with me through this entire story. I'll see you in the next one. God bless, and take care of yourselves.